Hello everyone, here Daniel One Love Caravan once again back here with this nice little Europe map, and I'm showing you this because this is very important. Again, I'm just talking here about uh, the reality what we're living in just right now. This map, why is it just a half? Yeah, because they divided this in a North and a South Europe. So first of all, this is the north of so-called Europe, and here I open the map, the whole. So and here it would end. So the first thing is Europe. Again, I will talk about this. Europe, Europaea. This is a kind of a divinity, maybe based on a true historical character, but then they made for sure a cult out of it. They said that Europe is a continent, what it's not by definition of a continent, and that's why we have here the borders, let's say, or just where the map ends. The map ends also here, like in the northern part of Europe. So this big thing here. So this green one. So this would be Russia. Okay. So just that you understand a little bit what we looking at like a recent map. This is from the backpacker, from a backpacker who forgot it, a Bakundi. You will see your map here if you see the video. This is Bakundi's map. You can come and get it. So this is again Russia. This is Belarus. This is Estonia. This Latvia. Lithuania. These countries, the Baltic countries, and this is here Kaliningrad. So this is also Russia. This is Russia, Kaliningrad. Then we have here Lithuania, and here we have Polonia, and this is the Belarus. So this part here is Ukraine. So also big, but as we know, here ends Europe. Okay. So you can see it's not really real. It's just they put a line through. Yeah, they put a line through Russia here, and then it actually the Ukraine, the whole of Ukraine is inside of this Europe map. Here you can see the Krim. So it's a recent map. So this is more or less recent. It's already some years, but you see the Krim. It's both colors. So the color green here from Russia, and here the purple from Ukraine. So then we have here also Moldavia. We have north here of Romania, and then we have the Hungary and how do they call it in English? Slovakia, Slovenska, whatever. This is there is the Czech Republic, and this is Austria, and then here Slovenia still, and you can see the north here of Italy, and you have Switzerland. So the Switzerland, they put it in the northern part, the whole of Switzerland. So it's actually where is the where it ends here, the north, after Switzerland, and here you have France and England and Germany and all these countries. Yeah, so this is the northern part of Europe, and the border goes actually then here border, the fantasy border like these people who call my passport my international passport or whatever. They talk. There are some people they telling me that this is a fantasy and what I'm talking about is a fantasy. This is for sure not the case, but anyway, here is a fantasy border of Europe. So then we would now go to the south. So there's you can also see that the south. What is actually the big difference? So why is there a south and a north anyway? Why they divide it? Why there is a border to the east in the first place? Because here you have now we are here. Uh, yeah, you have the peninsula, you have sea. Yeah, you have the ocean, you have here the Mediterranean Sea. That is what here the south, what makes the borders. The borders actually, and also the whole west of Europe. It's always the sea, or the ocean who makes the borders. Then suddenly, yeah, when it goes to the Orient, so say to the east, you then have to put just again here through Turkey, like Turkey. Yeah, there's just a line who divides this, which is not real. Again, Turkey, neither Turkey, neither. I'm not talking about the bird. I'm sorry. I think in English we say Turkey, but it's Turkey, and here Russia again. So they threw a line through Russia, and then here Turkey, and these two countries for sure they're not part of Europe or of the European Union, but there is plans of the European Union. Again, we have to know the history, so that's why I'm showing you this map here. And now we go here to the Balkan. This is very interesting and very important. I grew up in Switzerland, and yeah, Switzerland pretends to be a very, again, when I talk about Switzerland, why not showing Switzerland? Why not showing Switzerland? Here we are talking about Switzerland, very small, and yeah, no resources anyway. Here is Geneva. Here would be CERN. Here would be Basel. Here would be also, you know, pharma industry, and then banking, and in the Italian part as well, a lot of banking. And here you have the Graubünden, you have St. Moritz, and all this. You have actually here the valleys, where is also very Martini, where it's all to do with St. Moritz. Yeah, what I say, St. Moritz, St. Moritz, and this whole history of Switzerland, very important and interesting. But what I want to say just is that I grew up here in it's called the Zug. Yeah, Cham. It's not even here on the map because it's too small. But here I grew up, and yeah, Switzerland pretends to be like for human rights and all this stuff. So they receive refugees. So there was the Yugoslavia war, and so a lot of refugees from Yugoslavia, ex-Yugoslavia, they came to Switzerland. So I had a lot of friends. I have a lot of friends from ex-Yugoslavia. So greetings to everyone who knows me from ex-Yugoslavia, from Bosnia, Serbia. Ja sam pola Švicarac, pola Portugalac. Yeah, a little bit I still speak. Here Bosnia, you see what we have. Slovenia, here Croatia, Bosnia Herzegovina, Serbia, Crna Gora, it is Montenegro, this is Kosovo. Now here already in another color, Siberia, with this Albania, Macedonia, and here Greece, Hellas, Greece, here Bulgaria. So what we see here, it's very interesting because we looking at the big part of the south of Europe. If you look the whole map, actually the most here is the Mediterranean Sea. So you can also see in the sea why the Romans, why Rome is here. This is a strategic point anyway. Here you can see this is also kind of a stretcho, like you have several places, like here where we are, where it's getting very narrow, and to pass there, yeah, it's more difficult when it's controlled. Then you can, like, yeah, if you control this, it's difficult to pass. That's what I want to say. So the Roman culture, it's actually coming from Greece. Was before, and they came also from here. So they came actually from Persia. So this is nowadays Iran. So and they came from Iraq, was Babylon. So this was ancient Babylon. It would become Persia. It would become ancient Greece. And it would become then Rome. So this is the story what we have in historical yeah, texts and biblical texts and all this. Also we have this story, and for sure we have here Greece. You see, this is many islands. So this civilization, it was more a sea civilization here, and let's see, they would travel with boats. So the Phoenicians and yeah, Carthago, these civilizations, and they would always go with boats, like in ancient Egypt, Africa in general, all over the place. Actually, in the beginning, people would travel with boats, and with small boats, with wind, yeah, with the wind power, and so people would travel from North Africa through the Mediterranean Sea, and would go out there, would go to Ireland or wherever. So they would travel the world. They would go to America. They would go everywhere, even thousands of years ago. And yeah, when this Roman civilization started to be important, it was because they started to conquer these German tribes in the north. So you would have to pass here, you know. So this would actually be all German tribes. So this barbars, here we talk about, and they would speak a kind of a language what yeah, what is nowadays, like you still have here in like the Gaulish and all this like in a Basque, yeah, you have also ancient language. So you have ancient languages here, and this would actually be the German tribes all over here. And then you would have then the Slavs at this side. This is all Slavic, yeah? And this is actually where the word the slave is also coming from. It's come from the Slavs, because imagine this. Look at this, huh? This is just giant. Huh? Even today, Russia, this part of Russia, it's bigger than many European countries together. Just this little small part of Russia. So you can see the Slavic people. They were used as slaves in the Roman Empire a lot. So at the time of the Roman Empire, they for sure were much more Slavic, or let's say European. There was not this narrative at the time, but from these eras, and from these eras, from East, Balkan, and people they would use as a slave. So this was the Slavs, because they were also the mixed, I would say, with tribes from Asia, and the German tribes and the tribes from Asia mixed. So yeah, like supremacist people like Stalin, for example, who was from Georgia, which is also not Slavic. You must see, this is like the Basque. It's like the Amazigh. This is it's a more Aryan culture. He was a supremacist. For him, the Slavs also, they were not white in this sense. But this is their crazy racial understanding. But what we now talking about is the true facts and the history, and not some opinions. We talking here about this was one country before. So Slovenia, Hrvatska, Croatia, Bosnia, here Serbia, Montenegro, Kosovo, Macedonia was Yugoslavia. It's called Yugoslavia, and this was yeah. You have many cultures and religions there, and but somehow, like in Africa, like other places in the world, which is not necessarily the Western Hemisphere, the people would live together without any problems. And so at the time before this, they made the war. And who made the war? Yeah, for sure, the people from yeah, you know, the Vatican, people from here, from Switzerland. Someone has to finance that, and people from here, from England and America and wherever. So this international, let's say, conspiracy, and this is not a theory. This is just the facts. Because if we would not have had this conspiracy, we would not have had the war in Yugoslavia, and I would not have met these people who become my friends in Switzerland, who were in concentration camps and yeah, this was in the 80s, late 80s and 90s. Imagine then the war, the conflicts continued then in Kosovo and all this. So what wanted they do? They just wanted to split this, because it was a big potence. Imagine Germany and all these places, Italy, after the Second World War. These were yeah, they had to build everything up again. And in Yugoslavia, let's say, yeah, this was also like it was flourishing. Let's say it was also open. It was more open. It was kind of the Eastern, like they would put in the communist fraction, but it was more open. People at the time in Yugoslavia, they would go to Switzerland and Germany to work, and it was different. Then suddenly comes the war. And then these places got divided, and they put then borders there and different passports and all these problems then. And now you can see, yeah, why it's all again strategic, because at the time now, if you see the European Union, it's all this here, less than here. You have Bosnia, you have Serbia, and yeah, because they start to annex now. They divided these countries, and then they can annex Slovenia, Croatia, and that's why they have the Kosovo, which before was a province in Serbia, and yeah, that's why they made the Kosovo also like independent. But yeah, look at the colors of even of the map and of the symbols. So it's Europe who wants to control. It's a European Union who wants to control the Kosovo, but it's actually yeah, it's surrounded by countries now which are not part of the European Union. Macedonia, Serbia, Albania, and then Montenegro. So this is their way, Europe, to conquer terrain. Yeah. So that's why also we had this conflict some years ago here at Krim. Yeah, because this again is part Ukraine, part Russia. And nowadays, sincerely, I don't know really what's going on there, because they just talk about what is going on now here up north, what is look, Scandinavia. There's also they've put it here on a smaller map because it goes too far into the north. So this is Scandinavia, means Sweden, Norway, and Finland, and here would be the border now to Russia, where they now supposedly, I've seen this in the television. I don't really watch television, but last time I was in a cafe and there was a television on, and I've seen that they make now a fence against Russia from Finland. So yeah, for sure they make fences everywhere. So they everywhere you have a fence, like in Ceuta you have a fence, you have in Jerusalem you have a fence, and you have everywhere then fences. But they put fences, yeah, that they can afterwards come and say, we liberate you, but it's just to annex that. So at the time now at this time Europe is in war. So that is also what people have to understand. Europe is in a war. You look at this, this here now, Europe, yeah, but I say again, this is not really Europe, because this is then Russia here, and yeah. So if Europe now is making war against Russia, in fact this is not a really good idea, because we should actually be friends together and work together and trade together. But now they make war, because the only thing they can do, they really, because the Roman system, and the Roman system here, which is the Babylonian system, even the Roman language and all, like the Latin and the alphabet, the Latin alphabet, this was made to conquer. So this was made, is invented to make contracts and to actually to fool people. So that's why we have to show this, and we have to really show what is here really the situation, because again the Mediterranean Sea here, it's what actually then is the other border to where? Africa. So this whole north of Africa, now you cannot see here Libya and Egypt, but here would be Egypt and Libya, and yeah, this is, these countries are big, there are many people living, you know, and they're not really supporting Europe, because no one really supporting Europe, or this European Union, Switzerland, England, America narrative. No one really supporting that. Everyone